Before any man can build a fortune, before he can rise from mediocrity to greatness, before he can command his life and shape his destiny, he must first do one thing: invest in himself. Not partially, not occasionally, entirely. For no external riches can ever exceed the internal wealth you cultivate within. The world may reward you with gold, applause, titles, and trophies, but those are merely the echoes of your inner condition. The true cause of success lies not in luck, not in circumstances, but in the man himself, his habits, his thoughts, his development, his self-discipline. Let me say this to you directly. The greatest investment you will ever make is not in stocks, not in property, not even in other people. It is in the development of your own mind, your character, and your capacity to act in harmony with definite purpose. You were not born to remain the same. You were not placed here to merely exist. You were sent with the divine power to grow, to refine, to sharpen your faculties until the world itself is compelled to respond to your presence. And that starts always with personal investment. Now, let us examine what it means to invest in oneself. It is not merely reading a book or attending a seminar. Those are tools, yes. But the investment is deeper. It is the discipline of refining your mind daily, the commitment to self-analysis, to honest evaluation, to improving even the smallest of your habits with surgical precision. It is the determination to grow even when no one applauds, especially then, because the man who builds himself in silence is the man who cannot be stopped by noise. The tragedy is that most men spend more time planning their vacations than planning their growth. They are diligent with tasks, yet careless with self-development. They save money for things that depreciate, but fail to build the mind that multiplies value. What a man becomes internally, his discipline, his character, his focus, will determine the quality of everything he touches externally. So, I ask you today, what have you done to improve yourself this week? How have you sharpened your thoughts, strengthened your character, deepened your wisdom? If the answer is silence, then your priorities are misplaced. And misplaced priorities are the root of disappointment. The world belongs to the man who is prepared. And preparation is the fruit of inner work. When you invest in yourself, you are never at the mercy of external conditions. The economy may fall, people may change, opportunities may vanish, but the man who has invested in his skill, his mindset, his resilience, that man remains unshaken. Because he knows, no matter what is taken from him, he will rebuild. Not through hope, but through his own sharpened ability. You must understand this. Success does not come to the man who wishes. It comes to the man who becomes worthy of it. And worthiness is cultivated, not gifted. It is earned through countless days of refinement, through rising early to study, through staying late to work on your vision, through sacrificing ease to build capacity. When you invest in yourself, you are declaring to the universe that you are ready to receive more. And the universe, being obedient, will respond not to your words, but to your preparation. Now let us turn inward. Look at your current habits. What do you feed your mind daily? What do you tolerate in your routine? What disciplines have you abandoned in exchange for comfort? For it is here, in these daily micro decisions, that your future is written. A man who invests an hour a day in sharpening his skill will eclipse the man who merely reacts to life. A man who guards his thoughts and directs them with intention will always surpass the man whose mind is a playground for fear and doubt. You must become intentional with everything. With your time, with your energy, with your focus. The man who scatters his efforts never builds anything substantial. But the man who pours himself into a focused pursuit, who gives his attention to becoming excellent in one direction, he becomes unstoppable. Because excellence, when compounded, attracts everything. Opportunity, influence, wealth, all of it follows the man who has become excellent. But excellence is not an accident. It is the result of daily self-investment. It is created in the quiet hours when others sleep, when others drift. That is, when the winner rises to read, to write, to plan, to build, to learn. While others are entertained, he is transformed. And because of that, he arrives at places others only dream about. What books do you study? Not just read, but study. What principles guide your actions? Are they reactionary or rooted in timeless truth? What disciplines have you mastered? Habits that sharpen your thinking, that align your spirit, that stretch your limits. Success leaves clues. And the most consistent one is this: those who invest in themselves relentlessly rise relentlessly. There is no ceiling on a man who keeps growing. There is a hidden law working in your favor when you commit to personal growth. It is the law of compensation. The more value you bring into the world, the more you will receive in return. But value is not determined by your job title. It is determined by your ability to think, to solve, to lead, to innovate, to execute. All of which are results of how much you've developed yourself. So you must stop asking, how can I get more? And begin asking, how can I become more? That shift, my friend, is where transformation begins. No man was ever punished for overinvesting in his own excellence. But millions have paid the price for neglecting it. They paid in missed opportunities, in shallow relationships, in limited potential, in regret. You must not follow that path. You must become a steward of your own growth. Every morning you rise is a new invitation to increase your worth, not just financially, but mentally, spiritually, physically. And when all those realms are developed, success becomes not just likely, it becomes inevitable. Let me be clear. The man who invests in himself is not always applauded at first. In fact, he may be misunderstood, mocked, even isolated. But over time, those who once laughed begin to observe. Then they begin to respect. Eventually, they begin to follow. Because self-investment produces results so undeniable that even the blind cannot ignore them. And you must not seek validation in the early stages. You must be content being unseen. Because the roots of greatness always grow in silence. Discipline is your foundation. Without it, your investment will be temporary. Without it, your progress will be inconsistent. Discipline is what turns information into transformation. It is what separates the wishful from the successful. And discipline is not a feeling, it is a decision. A decision you must make daily, regardless of mood. The man who acts only when inspired is the man who remains average. But the man who acts consistently, even when uninspired, that man is destined for greatness. You must also invest in your health. For what good is fortune without vitality? Energy is the currency with which you pay for execution. And a man without energy cannot pursue success with power. Take care of your body. Feed it well. Train it with intensity. Rest it strategically. Your body is not a cage, it is a tool. And the sharper the tool, the more effective the craftsman. Likewise, protect your inner world. Invest in peace, in clarity, in emotional mastery. A scattered mind cannot lead. An anxious heart cannot build. Take time to still yourself, to reflect, to align, because the man who rules himself internally rules everything externally. And in a chaotic world, the calm man is king. Surround yourself with excellence, with those who challenge you, who refine you, who force you to elevate. You cannot grow in toxic soil. You must choose your environment with precision. Not everyone deserves access to your mind. Limit the voices you permit. Seek mentors. Read the words of the wise. Build a circle that reflects your future, not your past. Because who you surround yourself with will either raise or reduce your standard. And finally, you must believe deeply, unwaveringly, that you are worth the investment. Too many men shrink from growth because they doubt their own value. Let me tell you, you are not an accident. You are not average. You are not here to exist. You are here to evolve. And every ounce of effort you pour into becoming your highest self will return to you multiplied, compounded, and immortalized in your legacy. This is the foundation. This is the starting line. And this is where your real wealth begins, not in money, but in mastery. Not in fame, but in fortitude. Not in applause, but in alignment with purpose. Invest in yourself daily. And success will not be a chase, it will be a consequence. Now that you understand the principle that success follows personal investment like a shadow follows form, you must go deeper into application. Knowledge alone will never bring success. The possession of wisdom without the use of it is a kind of poverty. The man who reads yet fails to act is no better than the man who cannot read at all. The road to wealth is walked by those who turn personal investment into daily habit, action fused with intent, habit reinforced by repetition. You see, every day you live is a vote for the man you are becoming. Every small act of discipline, every minor correction, every moment spent sharpening your craft, they accumulate silently, powerfully, until one day the results appear so dramatically others call it success. But what they call overnight was simply the harvest of seeds planted in obscurity. When you invest in yourself first, you are planting seeds others cannot see. You are building a structure beneath the surface. And like a skyscraper, the deeper the foundation, the higher you can rise. Let us now look at the pillars of this investment. Begin with your thoughts. Thought is the origin of every action. What you think about yourself, your worth, your future, determines your behavior. And your behavior determines your destiny. If your thoughts are filled with doubt, fear, limitation, then no matter what effort you make, your results will be crippled. But if your thoughts are filled with confidence, faith, clarity, purpose, then every action you take will be empowered. The man who masters his thoughts masters his future. You must become a student of your own mind. Listen to your inner dialogue. If it's toxic, it must be changed. If it's weak, it must be fortified. You must speak to yourself with strength, with vision, with certainty. Say to yourself, I am worthy of success because I am building myself to deserve it. I am becoming the type of man who attracts wealth not by accident, but by character. Say it, think it, live it. The mind is fertile ground. What you plant will grow. So choose your thoughts as a wealthy man chooses his investments, wisely and with foresight. Next, attend to your environment. Just as a seed cannot flourish in poor soil, you cannot grow in a place that drains you. Your surroundings must reflect the man you are becoming, not the man you've been. Look around. Who do you spend your time with? Do they lift your standard or lower it? Do they challenge you to grow or pull you into mediocrity. You must ruthlessly eliminate what weakens your focus. Books, conversations, habits, people, every element of your life must serve your vision. Otherwise, it must be removed. Time, my friend, is your most precious asset. You can lose money and make it again. But once time is gone, it is gone forever. Therefore, how you spend your time is the clearest indicator of whether you are truly investing in yourself. What fills your calendar? Entertainment or education? Distraction or direction? Busyness or business? If I were to look at your week, would I see a man chasing comfort or a man building greatness? There is no secret to success. It is simply the cumulative result of small, smart choices made repeatedly over time. One of the most vital daily habits is the habit of goal setting. Do you write your goals every morning? Do you visualize them with clarity? A man without goals is like a ship without a rudder, adrift, reactive, lost. But the man who wakes each day with written goals before him and reviews them and aligns his behavior to them, he becomes magnetic. Opportunities are drawn to him. People recognize his direction. The world opens for the man who knows where he is going and demonstrates it through daily deliberate action. But writing goals is not enough. You must act upon them. Massive success is not born from massive action once. It is born from consistent action daily. Small steps, repeated with faith, build momentum. And momentum creates breakthroughs. So commit now. Take one action toward your goal every day. Even if it's 5 minutes. Even if it's imperfect. Because what matters is not perfection, but progression. A man who moves even slowly will always outperform the man who waits for perfect conditions. Another powerful investment is reading. Read not for entertainment, but for transformation. Choose books that stretch your mind, that challenge your assumptions, that teach you principles tested by time. Read biographies of great men. Study philosophy. Internalize laws of success. And most importantly, reread. Mastery is not reading 100 books once. It is reading one great book 100 times. What you revisit, you retain. And what you retain, you apply. And what you apply, you become. But knowledge must be balanced with execution. A man can become addicted to learning and never move. That is not self-investment, that is self-deception. You must balance your inner growth with external challenge. Build your mind, yes, but also build your capacity. Train your body. Practice your skill. Sell your idea. Launch your product. Make the call. Write the plan. Do the hard thing. Because success does not visit the dreamer, it partners with the doer. Let us speak now of discomfort. Every act of self-investment will challenge you. It will stretch your limits, expose your weaknesses, and demand your effort. And many men retreat at this point. They believe that resistance is a sign to stop. But you must understand, resistance is the proof of growth. When you lift a weight, your muscle resists. That resistance is not a problem. It is the path to strength. Likewise, when your habits resist change, when your comfort cries out, that is your signal. Keep going. For the breakthrough lies beyond that resistance. You must also learn the art of solitude. A man cannot build himself if he is always surrounded by noise. Take time daily to be still. Reflect, meditate, plan. Listen to your thoughts. Reconnect with your vision. Solitude is not isolation. It is strategic alignment. It is in silence that your greatest insights will emerge. The world is loud, but wisdom is quiet. And the man who knows how to be alone is the man who cannot be manipulated. Journal your journey. Write your wins, your lessons, your ideas. The man who records his thoughts refines them. He sees patterns. He tracks growth. He holds himself accountable. And one day his journals become a map, not just for himself, but for others who will follow in his footsteps. Your words matter. Your clarity matters. Writing is a tool of the wise. Use it. Speak with precision. Do not waste your words. A man who invests in himself speaks with intention. He avoids gossip. He rejects excuses. He eliminates vague language. Instead, he speaks life. He declares vision. He communicates value. Every word you say is a reflection of your thoughts, and your thoughts are the reflection of your discipline. Guard your speech, for it reveals who you are becoming. Sleep with purpose. Do not drift into your nights. End your day as intentionally as you began it. Review your goal. Reflect on your actions. Set your plan for tomorrow. Gratitude, reflection, visualization, these are the final tools of the self-invested man before he rests. And when he sleeps, his mind continues the work. He dreams not of escape, but of progress. And he wakes with clarity. Eliminate weakness. Every man carries within patterns of self-sabotage, habits, thoughts, temptations that reduce his power. You must identify them. Write them down, and one by one, eliminate them. Not all at once, but steadily. The man who removes one weakness a month will, in a year, become unrecognizable. Progress is not only building, it's also cutting. Cut what no longer serves you. Live with urgency, not anxiety, not panic, but a powerful awareness that time is limited, that your moment is now, that each day is a gift, and that gift must be honored through action. The man who delays his self-investment because he has time is the man who wakes one day full of regret. Start today. Improve today. Build today. Not because you are behind, but because you are ready. Remember this always. When you invest in yourself, you are building something that no one can take from you. Economies may crash. Friends may betray. Markets may shift. But what you have built within, your wisdom, your discipline, your mindset, your skill, those are yours forever. They travel with you. They protect you. They multiply for you. And they are the foundation upon which every future success will be built. You were not born to chase. You were born to attract. But attraction is not magic. It is magnetism created through mastery. And mastery is built through self-investment. Invest with faith, with fire, with focus. Become a man of depth, of clarity, of substance. And the world, unable to ignore your power, will bring to you the riches, the respect, and the results you once pursued. When a man becomes the master of his inner world, he no longer reacts to the shifting winds of circumstance. He becomes steady, immovable, certain. He is no longer waiting for permission to rise. He has given himself the authority to build, to grow, to dominate his lane. And that power, my friend, comes from years of private commitment to daily habits no one applauds. These small disciplines, invisible to most, are the real roots of outward success. Let me tell you clearly, your world is not shaped by chance. It is shaped by your rituals. Those who succeed don't rely on motivation. They rely on structure. They have built systems that keep them progressing even on the days when inspiration fades. If you wish to become a man others call fortunate, then you must first become the man who shows up daily, does the hard work, and expects no applause for it. Begin with your mornings. The man who wins the morning owns the day. How you start your day is how you command your life. A morning without structure is a day without power. Wake early. Greet the dawn with discipline. Read something that fuels your mind. Move your body to awaken your energy. Review your goal. Set your intention. Do not touch distractions. Do not hand your mind over to the world before you command it yourself. The man who begins reactive stays behind, but the man who begins deliberate, purposeful, clear, he moves ahead of the pack. Once your day is claimed, your energy must be guarded. Understand this. Energy is not just physical, it is emotional, mental, spiritual, and it is finite, so you must be wise in how you spend it. Do not waste it on arguments, gossip, or mental clutter. Invest it where returns are high. High return habits include deep work, focused learning, contribution, creativity, and conscious rest. If your energy is precious, treat it as such. Eliminate leaks. Cut out what drains you. Reinforce what renews you. And now we arrive at perhaps the greatest small habit of all, decision. Success is built by the man who decides swiftly and clearly. Indecision is a silent killer of dreams. While others wait, weigh, and worry, the decisive man moves. He learns from action. He gathers momentum. He embraces feedback. You must become allergic to hesitation. Train yourself to decide and act. Begin with small things. What will you wear? Decide. What will you read today? Decide. What task will move you forward? Decide and begin. Each decision made with firmness trains your mind to lead. Now, bring your focus to discipline. Without it, every dream remains fantasy. With it, every dream becomes structure. Discipline is not punishment. It is power. It is the ability to do what must be done, whether you feel like it or not. You must rewire your relationship with discomfort. You must learn to love the pain of growth more than the pleasure of stagnation. Each time you do what's difficult, waking early, studying when tired, rejecting temptations, you are casting votes for the man you are becoming. And success, ultimately, is built from thousands of small votes. Track your progress. What gets measured improves. Do not rely on memory. Use a journal. Use a calendar. Use a checklist. Make your progress visible. When you see your growth, you reinforce your identity. You no longer say, I am trying to become successful. You say, I am a man of progress. This identity, once established, drives your future actions. Remember, consistency over intensity. The man who shows up every day, even in small ways, will always outlast the man who shows up once with great force. Let us now speak of mastery. If you truly desire success, you must choose mastery over mediocrity. Most men dabble, they try, they test, but the successful man commits. He chooses one skill, one mission, one path, and he goes deep. Depth creates value. Value attracts wealth. So I ask you, what are you committed to mastering? Choose it. Devote yourself. Study it. Practice it. Teach it. Refine it. Do not chase everything. Chase excellence. And in the pursuit of excellence, you will leave behind the masses. You must also protect your self-image. How you see yourself is how you perform. You cannot outperform your identity. If you see yourself as weak, you will act weak. If you see yourself as capable, you will act with strength. Your habits must affirm your identity. Speak well of yourself. Carry yourself with dignity. Walk as a man becoming great, and soon the world will reflect back what you already know, that you are becoming a man of value. Let us not forget service. Success is not the accumulation of things. It is the extension of your value to others. You become wealthy not by taking, but by giving more than expected. Serve with excellence. Serve with creativity. Serve with heart. The man who serves well is never poor. Why? Because value multiplies. When others benefit from your growth, they open doors, speak your name, offer you opportunities. That is how success is truly built, from within to without. Gratitude, too, is a habit of wealth. Not passive gratitude, but active gratitude. Every day, write what you are thankful for. Not only the big wins, but the small steps. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance. And abundance is the mindset that draws more. The man who is always lacking will repel opportunity, but the man who lives in appreciation will attract it. Success follows those who already see themselves as successful, because that belief changes how they show up in every situation. You must also build the habit of learning, not just from books, but from life. Reflect on your mistakes. Extract wisdom from your failures. Seek mentors. Observe patterns. Ask questions. Every day carries a lesson, but only the aware man captures it. Stay curious. Stay humble. Stay in motion. The man who learns without ego is the man who grows without limit. Resilience, too, is a daily decision. You will face setbacks. You will face silence, rejection, betrayal, fatigue. But the man who rises again and again, regardless of pain, is the man who ultimately wins. Build resilience by training your response. When adversity strikes, ask, what is this teaching me? How can I respond with strength? What must I learn, release, or reinforce? With these questions, you convert pain into power, and that is the habit of champions. Now, remember to fuel your body. Your energy is your engine. Feed it with quality. Move daily. Sleep well. Stretch. Breathe. Hydrate. Do not neglect the vessel that carries your vision. The successful man is not sloppy. He treats his body with the same discipline he applies to his work, because he knows without energy, nothing moves. Health is not a side goal. It is a central foundation. Surround yourself with accountability. Do not build alone. Find men who are also rising. Share your goals. Track your habits. Celebrate your growth. Confront your excuses. The right circle multiplies your momentum. The wrong one destroys it. Choose wisely. One strong conversation can unlock years of potential. Never underestimate the power of aligned company. And as you rise, remain rooted. Pride has destroyed many before you. Stay humble. Stay teachable. Stay focused. Your habits will not only build you, they will protect you. They will guide you when the noise grows louder. They will anchor you when praise tempts your ego. And they will carry you through seasons of drought. The man who relies on emotion falls, but the man who relies on habit stands. Keep your vision in front of you. Read it, speak it, see it. Every morning and night, remind yourself, this is who I am becoming. This is what I am building. This is why I cannot quit. This is why my habits matter. Without vision, habits become chores. But with vision, habits become sacred acts of transformation. Infuse your habits with purpose, and they will carry you far beyond what motivation ever could. Lastly, trust the process. Growth is not linear. Some days you will feel unstoppable. Others you will question everything. That is normal. Do not stop. Do not judge yourself. Just continue. Each day you invest, the compound interest of discipline increases. And though results may not be immediate, they are inevitable. Success, real success, is the reward of the man who remains faithful to his own development. You do not need to impress the world. You need only to impress upon yourself the necessity of personal growth. Every day invest. Every day align. Every day build. And one day, quietly, suddenly, dramatically, success will follow. The final stage of your transformation lies not in some magical secret, but in the steadfast reinforcement of who you are becoming through your repeated actions. What separates the man who merely wishes from the man who achieves is this: one hopes, the other executes. And the key distinction between hope and execution is habit, compounded daily, forged in silence, repeated in solitude. This is not merely discipline, it is a sacred contract with your future self. By now you understand that success does not come by chance, nor does it favor the impatient. It favors the man who has conditioned his body, mind, and spirit to move with clarity and purpose. That conditioning is not the result of motivation. It is the fruit of small, intentional acts, done even when the world offers no immediate reward. If you are waiting for someone to validate your growth before you continue, let me remind you, wealth does not reward the man who hesitates. It rewards the one who persists unseen. To elevate your life, you must continue reinforcing identity-based habits. Ask yourself, who must I become to deserve the life I want? And then ask, what does that man do every single day? Does he rise early? Then so must you. Does he read instead of wasting time? Then so must you. Does he plan his days, reflect on his progress, act without emotion, speak with conviction, and rest with intention? Then so must you. You do not wait until you feel like that man. You become him through action. Nothing changes until you do. And real change is not dramatic, it is subtle. It's found in the decision to read 10 pages instead of scrolling. To complete the task you said you would, even if you're tired. To stand tall when you'd rather shrink. These are not grand gestures, but they are the bricks of self-respect. And from that self-respect comes power. And from that power, wealth begins to align. You must now eliminate all forms of mental and emotional poverty. This means removing scarcity-based language from your vocabulary. Do not speak of I can't, I'm stuck, or I don't know how. These phrases are chains. Replace them with declarations of possibility. I will learn, I am preparing, I am earning it. Every word you speak is an affirmation of your identity. So speak only what serves your direction. Speak as the man who has already earned his future. And remember, resistance does not vanish just because you've begun the path. In fact, it may intensify. The more aligned you become, the more distractions will appear. The more focused you are, the more life will test your resolve. These are not signs to stop. These are invitations to evolve. The man who bends under pressure forfeits his crown. But the man who stiffens his spine, who tightens his grip, who steps forward into chaos, that man earns the right to lead. Invest in your ability to say no. The failure of many men is not due to laziness, but due to distraction. They say yes to every request, every detour, every momentary pleasure. But the man who is building something sacred must protect his focus with ferocity. If it does not align with your purpose, it is noise. And noise is the enemy of growth. Every no you say to the world is a yes to your destiny. Let the shallow things go. The deep work demands your presence. You must now upgrade the standards by which you live. Wealth does not respond to wishes, it responds to standards. A standard is the minimum you accept from yourself. If you are tolerating lateness, excuses, disorganization, and inconsistency, then those are the results you will earn. But raise your standard, even in small areas, and your results will follow. Make punctuality non-negotiable. Make clarity your compass. Make excellence your baseline. And soon success will stop avoiding you. It will begin orbiting around you. Self-respect compounds. When you respect your time, your thoughts, your body, and your word, you become magnetic. Opportunities come to the man who honors himself. Why? Because the world reflects your internal condition. The man who walks with certainty attracts those who trust him. The man who prepares thoroughly attracts doors that open without force. The man who holds himself to high standards is seen as a leader even before results appear. Let us now speak of time. Time is not a resource, it is your life. And how you use it reveals what you believe about yourself. Are you a man of purpose? Then you will schedule your hours. You will eliminate distraction. You will not merely be busy, you will be effective. You will guard your evenings. You will end your days with reflection. You will not waste weekends. Every day will be a deposit toward the man you are becoming. That is how wealth is attracted. By the man who spends his time like a king, not a beggar. Simplicity is another powerful force. The world praises complexity, but success is found in subtraction. Remove what is unnecessary. Cut the clutter. Cut the noise. Cut the relationships that drag you back. Cut the habits that dilute your power. Every subtraction creates clarity, and clarity is power. You must become ruthless with anything that does not serve your vision. Do not fear being misunderstood. The focused man always is, but it is that focus that sharpens your mind and opens your path. Grind alone. Train in silence. Build in private. Let your success be your proof. The man who needs applause is not yet ready for true success. For in the early stages, no one will clap. No one will see your effort. No one will believe in you. And that is as it should be. Because belief must first be born in you. Others will follow, but only after you've earned your own respect. And that respect is forged in quiet hours, in lonely nights, in moments when quitting looks tempting, but you continue anyway. Expect resistance. Welcome it. But do not negotiate with it. Resistance will whisper, "You've done enough. You deserve a break. Nobody cares." And your answer must be unwavering. I have a standard. I move regardless. I build whether seen or not. Speak back to resistance. Do not be passive. Dominate it with movement. Replace thought with action. Replace doubt with discipline. Replace fear with faith in who you are becoming. Now, realize this. Everything is connected. Your habits are not isolated. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. If you let your desk remain cluttered, that disorder seeps into your thoughts. If you delay one task, that hesitation leaks into your ambition. If you tolerate one broken promise, that weakness echoes into every area. Excellence, therefore, must be your way of life, not an event. Practice it in the small, and it will manifest in the large. Let your environment support your identity. Build a space that fuels growth. Clean your home. Set up your tools. Remove distractions. Let your space mirror your standards. Every object around you should affirm your purpose. If it doesn't, remove it. Your environment whispers to your subconscious. Let it say, "You are a man of purpose. You are here to rise." Wealth responds to the man who is ready, not just willing. Readiness is built. Preparedness is a habit. So prepare, study, plan, rehearse, anticipate. Do not hope to be lucky, prepare to be deserving. The man who has prepared for opportunity rarely misses it. While others panic, he is ready. While others guess, he executes. And that execution is built not on chance, but on years of invisible preparation. Give more than you take. This is not a slogan, it is a law. The man who seeks only to extract will be abandoned by success. But the man who adds value wherever he goes will be remembered. Give through service. Give through excellence. Give through presence. Do not ask, "What can I get?" Ask, "What can I contribute?" And in that mindset, you become a magnet for collaboration, loyalty, and abundance. Keep your word. Integrity is a multiplier. When you say you will do something, do it. Especially when it's only you who knows. Each time you follow through, you reinforce your power. Each time you break it, you weaken your foundation. Do not speak promises casually. Let your word be law. Let your actions confirm your speech. And soon others will trust you, not because you say much, but because you always do what you say. Stay patient. Growth takes time. Wealth takes time. Mastery takes time. Do not rush the process. Focus instead on becoming the man who can handle the responsibility of success. The man who moves without needing validation. The man who continues without immediate reward. If you can endure the season of delay, you will earn the harvest of abundance. Most fail not because of inability, but because they quit before the compound interest of discipline could take effect. Finally, never forget, all greatness begins within. There is no path to success that bypasses self-investment. You are not chasing wealth. You are becoming the kind of man to whom wealth is drawn. And that man is built in silence, in solitude, in structure, in daily decisions, in repetition, in refinement. He is not waiting. He is working. He is not wishing. He is acting. And one day, his results will speak for him louder than any words ever could. If you desire success, you must first prove worthy of it through the investment you make in yourself. And that investment, done quietly, done daily, is the seed from which all abundance flows.